Hi Libra, welcome to mid-December. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. So Libra, I did a whole reading for you, a whole 15-minute reading, and it was perhaps the funniest reading I've ever done in my whole life. Just about everything that you shouldn't do in a reading happened, but it was really funny, and I panicked a bit. I thought, okay, if I put this out, it would be like comedic genius, but it wouldn't be a Libra reading. Actually, it was a really good reading. Full of lots of like really lovey-dovey positive energy, like relationships, all of the overflowing of good stuff. But it became really slapdash, and I should have kept it, but I deleted it. And then it was like, that feeling of, I should have, but I didn't. Be careful of that feeling, hi Libra. Right away, Chakra Wisdom, Oracle, Tori Hartman, and The Psychic Tarot by John Holland. Kinda close at hand, especially for you Libra bra. I hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for joining me. It's the end of 2021. I can hear a lot of you saying, thank goodness for that. I think you've had a really good year, Libra. I think you have had an opportunity to understand you and depend on you. And I think 2022 might actually be a lot to do with you, and it's just a prediction. Libra, stop getting into trouble at work. I know you only do that when you feel like you're not being given enough respect, or your authority is being challenged, or you're being ignored, or you're not being given the sufficient amount of attention that you deserve. I just think that you should reserve your energies right now. Let's get some cards for mid-December for the sign of Libra. I think you're exhausted. Bottom of the deck. This card happened to come up in your last reading also. That's the Eight of Cups. This card also happened to come up. That's the Ten of Cups. I'm going to go through all the cards and then I will put them, piece together a message for you. Okay, I'll leave that at the bottom of the deck. The Ten of Cups. The Hierophant. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. I hope you're enjoying the new setup, Libra. I have the High Priestess. I have the Ace of Swords. I have the Page of Pentacles. I have the Ace of Cups. And I have the Nine of Wands. And I have the Seven of Cups. Hopes and dreams, reality and fantasy. Libra, what's real and what's not? What can you actually hold on to that's tangible? And what do you know it's time for you to walk on from? I think the idea of your own home, a family, something that's your own, is really kind of weighing on you right now. And the Hierophant Taurian energy, I think even serious commitments might be something that you're really sort of in the energy of at the moment. The Page of Swords, your own energy, being quite free, business affairs, growing spiritually. I feel like there is some sort of spiritual service required of you, Libra, and it might have a lot to do with the abundance of a happy home and your position within it. The Ace of Swords, High Priestess, Knight of Swords. There's some sort of information that's coming forward to you in regards to this High Priestess energy. This might even be, this could be someone that you know. It could even be you seeking within yourself the truth. There's a lot to do with a truth. Mercury in the sign of Capricorn, about to go into retrograde. There's this stoic, silent strength to this time. There's also this real sharpness and precision to communication. It doesn't need to be an excess of words. It does need to be well studied, well pondered, well thought out. You might be Mars in Sagittarius, pressed to jump in when matters get a bit, woohoo. But I think it's about remaining composed, making sure that you understand the weight of that sword, and sometimes we say things that we can't take back. I don't think it's time for you to be burdened by your achievements, Libra. The things that you've accumulated are part of your liberation. If you are beginning to feel like they have become part of your imprisonment, then it's really about time you ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And if it still resonates with you. You've got the potential of being really emotionally over the moon, cups running over. It might have something to do with a earth sign. It does have a lot to do with, however, this power couple, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, sitting right next to something that looks like quite a happy home. I feel like there are egos and tempers flying around everywhere, and there's a bit of an emotional overload. I do hope, Libra, that you can cut through a lot of the jargon with a voice of reason and truth. Something that comes from a place of a content heart, not one that is overwhelmed by burden, or one that's presenting really small offers. There is a big difference between a humble offer and a small offer. And I think ultimately, if the reason why you're doing them, things that you're doing, is because of a full heart, then I think you'll find the journeys that you are being asked to go on at the moment might be so that you can clear up the truth from false. Especially with how you feel yourself. And how badly it is that you want... Oh, God. I was talking about the rattling bangles in the other video. I personally like it. I think you know you want to be part of something. And I think your heart calls for it, Libra. And I think the resistance you find is almost a bit of uncertainty for yourself. Completion and abundance. You complete a cycle. And it leads to a lot of abundance to you. Just stop being unsure of yourself and your progress. You've got to expand. Look at that, expansion. It's about thinking big. It's about looking beyond. It's about growing bigger. It's about completing certain cycles that you know are just done. And it's time to grow. And it's time to move on. And it's time to step into the new phase. And it's time to be that abundant being. And if you know that there are certain journeys that you need to have, emotionally speaking, if not physically speaking, I would rush to them. I would get on with them and I would do them. I would use your wisdom, Hierophant card. Discern for yourself, Libra. what you recognize as being part of something that could potentially be really triumphant for you. Because if you decide to suffer in silence, that's not particularly wise, is it? And all of these green lights to go ahead and speak on it guarantees some sort of really positive result. You've got to be willing to make the journey. And I think if you do, things move really quickly and you're triumphant. That's accelerated motion, and that is triumphant. This end of the year is really nice for you because you make a lot of discoveries about yourself, and I think once you decide that you are pushing in the direction of truth and happiness and love and freedom, there's this wisdom about you that leads you to a triumph, and it happens so quickly. You complete certain cycles, and the level of abundance, emotional as well as, material, is beautiful, Libra. Don't suffer in silence. This is the time to grow. You're growing. And I would be open to what growth brings, because it can bring lots of beautiful things. Thank you so much for watching, Libra. If you would like to book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. I love you. Ciao for now.